Okay, this is the second part of my video of my technology plan here. The purchase plan will be to continue purchasing the Chromebooks through our current vendor. Difference here now is that parents will purchase the Chromebooks from each school building. I think it's important that every kid has a chance to take it home. I think it's going to it'll help actually create more space in the classrooms where there's not a giant Chromebook cart that we currently have in there, where each student is responsible for their own Chromebook. And then at the end of the day, they can take them home and plug them in at their houses. Along with the purchase of the Chromebooks, they can purchase it all at once, or they can make monthly payments if they would like. Set up a way for that to happen, and insurance will be included with the purchase. As far as the installation plan, the technology staff that's currently in place at each building and throughout the district we'll prepare the Chromebooks, make sure they are up to date and ready for purchase. The internet access will be tested and improved if needed. If everybody has their own Chromebooks and every single teacher is incorporating them into their daily lessons, obviously, internet, the bandwidth, there's going to need to be some changes. We can test that through the summer and kind of see what needs to be improved along the internet access. Plan will be introduced at school board meetings, the monthly school board meetings that they have. We can introduce this plan. And during school orientation, seventh graders, we have at my school specifically, we have two different times. Seventh graders come in, and we have eighth grade leaders that will kind of introduce them to the school, show them the classroom, things like that. This will be a time where we can also introduce them to the technology plan and the Chromebooks and what the plan looks like for them and throughout the school year. And then we also have open house or an orientation before the school year starts, where kids come in, they can get their schedules and things like that. They have different stations they need to go to, and I think one of the stations we can set up with whoever the technology leader is, can hold just a Q&A on questions regarding the plan, introduce the plan, describe it to them, and I think that would be very beneficial and easy for parents to attend, as they have to show up at some point with their child just to help them get settled, see their locker, get their schedule and all of that. Some professional development. What we're going to incorporate here is teachers will receive training through various groups within each building, staff meetings, just professional development days that they can take out and get a sub in their classroom, and that way they can get the training throughout. In addition to the group training during the staff meetings, we'll have over 1,000 individual or small group sessions that will be held. This is kind of where the district's at as it is, so I think to keep this the same would be a good idea. All staff and students will have access to Synergize online training, and there will be a Google Boot Camp that will be held in June for in-depth of all the Google apps that are available for education, and that way they can see everything that they can use that are compatible to the Chromebooks, and just make a nice smooth transition. That way we can incorporate it in each and every classroom. Community engagements. Hold community meetings to share the technology plan and why the district is implementing the plan. As I said earlier, we're already having community meetings over each building plans in the district. Of some of the buildings are older and they need to be replaced or fixed up. So if we already have that kind of set in place, this would just be another way to set up and just share the plan with the community. I also think we should require parents to sign a form that shares the district policy and also shares the dangers of malware and the viruses that can come from the internet and onto the computers. And each building already sends a monthly newsletter home. So it talks about upcoming field trips, what each classroom is doing. I think it's very easy just to add in another section that discusses the technology and how it's working and how it's going so far throughout the year. To roll this out, the tech coordinator, as I mentioned earlier, about sending out, updating the families and community about the tech plan as it is. I think in the newsletters, I think that should be the tech coordinator's job as part of that. They will have the most hands-on and be working with the technology plan as it is the most. So I think it just makes sense for them to update the newsletter. I think we should also offer 2 parent training sessions during the summer and 2 student training sessions during the summer. Maybe a morning session and an evening session. Parents attend one or the other, and then they can just see how the Chromebooks will work. That way we start the year up. There's no questions of login, no questions of how do I access, Google Classroom, for example, and then we'll be in good shape there. We can hit the ground running. And administrators responsible for sharing the plan and updates as well through social media. Every administrator has a Twitter account right now. It's required for them. So it's an easy way just to share information out there and then really get the community involved. Practice. Teachers will be required to share 1 lesson each semester at staff meetings. This can be done in small groups, just simply splitting up into groups of 4 or 5, going around the table describing what was your lesson, how did you use the technology resources to benefit the students. One thing we've done in the past at my school is that we've had cohorts where we've observed other people teaching a lesson, and then I think doing that again, and this time specifically observing how they are incorporating technology into a lesson would be very beneficial. And then after everybody's taught, go to the conference room and then just provide feedback on each person's lessons, the positives, the negatives, what worked well, what didn't, what could be improved. I know when we did the cohorts before, it was great, and you were able to see different teaching strategies that teachers were using that helped me out in my own classroom. And then as well as I was sharing things that worked for me. Finally, the evaluation. I think we need to have some sort of a teachers, parents, students survey. Google Forms would be great to use for this. Just send it out to the parents. They can fill it out. It all comes back organized. We can see where we're at and what needs to be improved. Test scores. All the data says, using the technology will help improve the test scores. So all of the AIR tests, the MAP testing, we can see where we are at in terms of test scores and if we are improving or not. Evaluations from administrators through OTES. Part of the rubric on OTES when you get evaluated is how are you incorporating technology. So as your principal observes you teaching a lesson, it's a good way right there. We can put all those evaluations into a form and have the data there. And then during the professional developments, and this is where I think my district could improve, is that I think feedback directly afterwards would be very beneficial. I know every time I've taken a professional development through there, it hasn't really been an option for me to provide feedback. So I think as part of the professional development, once you get done, maybe there's an email sent or right away and before you get there, and then you have the link and you can just go in, answer the survey. We'll get the data right away. We'll see what's working with the PDs, what is not, and then we can really make this plan continue to improve and be beneficial to the students. And that is all. That is my plan. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to hearing your feedback.